Hi everyone, welcome to the Tuscarora School District's online learning unification plan video. You can access the slides I'm going to go over by typing in the shortened URL that's in yellow. But our purpose here is to talk about what we can do to support our online learners as well as our in-person students and all of our students if we would ever have to go remote for any duration of time. So I'm Nicole Myers. I am the new Cyber Options Coordinator. I'm not sure, hopefully we've met at this point. I want to give briefly credit where credit is due and thank Slide Carnival for these beautiful slides. I use them all the time. I highly recommend. Our driving question today is going to be, how do our students know what they are doing each day and why it is exactly that they're doing it? If our kiddos are in person and they're in front of you, you can tell them this. You write it on your board, you go through it in your PowerPoint, whatever it is that you normally would do. That's how the kiddos who are in person know this. But how do our kiddos who aren't in person, whether that's kind of permanently for this year or if it's temporary for a quarantine or if it's temporary even further if we all have to go remote, how do they then know what it is they're doing each day and why they are doing it? So what I would argue at the moment is that there's a serious disconnect between what our kiddos think they're doing and what we want them to be doing and what the families think they're doing. There's just a level of misunderstanding between the different parties. And part of the reason that happens would be because of the mode through which we're communicating our expectations through Google Classroom. Because our Google Classrooms are just so different, we're having a hard time ensuring all of our kiddos are understanding what we want them to understand. So I picked a couple of Google Classrooms here just to show this. And again, I'm not being critical by any means to any of these teachers. They were never given, none of us, we were never given any further specific directions as to how to set up a Google Classroom. We were just told to do so. So some of our teachers are using the stream, for example, to just write long announcements of like, here's what we're doing in class. Some of us are using classwork and that kind of piece in Google Classroom and organizing it there. Some of us are using the stream just for announcements. Some of us are using the classwork by different content level sections, and they're meant to look at the different content areas and figure out what they're doing each day. Some of us are numbering lessons, and that's how we're supposed to figure out what they're doing each day. Some of us are doing we're dating the lessons, and that's going to indicate what we're doing each day. Some of us are doing a combination of announcements and assignments on the stream and the classwork section, and they're supposed to figure out kind of where we are each day. There's a lot of different pieces going on to figure out what exactly any of our kiddos are meant to be doing each day, and that's been causing a number of issues both with our families and with our teachers. So to make our online learning experience equitable for all, we need to make sure that our content is easy to access and it's very clear. And we're going to be able to do that more effectively by creating unified Google Classrooms. So we're going to make these changes to our Google Classrooms, and the point being to have better organization for all of our kiddos, as well as clearer and more specific directions that all families can follow. So the first set of kind of points we're going to work through are our better organization practices and what changes we'll make to make them happen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off the classwork on stream button. We are going to post assignments as assignments and announcements as announcements. We're going to organize the classwork section by using topics. We're going to add a top section for the pacing guide for each of our Google Classrooms. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off the classwork on stream button. And what that's going to let us do is it's going to make sure that everything the kids are meant to do each day, their actual tasks, all of those are going to live instead of on the stream and the classwork section, they're all just going to live on the classwork section. So to do this, you click on the gear in the upper left corner, you find the upper right corner, you find the classwork on stream button, and you turn on hide notifications and you hit save. And what you're going to see in our next video is it's going to look something closer to this. So when our kiddos go on their Google Classrooms and they go onto the stream, which is the first place that will pop up for each of our kids when they first get on, that stream is going to contain just their announcements. So it's just going to contain welcome back messages or, some kind of whatever, maybe they need a permission slip, something like that. But the actual things they're meant to do each day, all of that lives in the classwork section all the time. So this is the only place all of our kids will go to. They will all be in the classwork section to figure out where they're meant to go each day. And we can organize that classwork section really effectively. One of the ways we can do the organization of the classwork section is we can use the topic features and we can learn how to add topics. And we can make our topics a little bit of a variety of how we want to have these look. So we could have a topic that is by day of the week. So on Mondays, they go to the Monday topic to figure out what they're doing that day. We can also have topics that are set up by unit. So during this certain date range, here are certain units that we're working through. We could also have our topics